Children, our most cherished view into the future. In every corner of the world is a developing story of the fragility of that future and the urgency we face as a generation. In a world of 2.2 billion children, half are dying as a result of poverty, infectious disease, and conflict. The humanitarian community's challenge in bringing health, safety, and education worldwide requires new solutions. Generation I is part of a growing movement in launching a unique grassroots approach to international aid.
I've spent several years as a board member of UNICEF focusing on child advocacy. One day I was having a conversation with an Iraqi American fellow, and I became increasingly astounded by what I was hearing about the state of children in Iraq. As a result of that conversation, I went to Jordan to research what the humanitarian sector was doing in Iraq. And over 1 million people were in displacement camps, and the pictures I saw were no different than Sudan. This is an oil-rich country, and I'm seeing no infrastructure, no basic services, no heat, no power, no bathrooms. Playground that's made of rubble and rebar. It was horrifying.
30 years of wars and killings, both inside and outside. It's true that all Iraqis had suffered of that, but Iraqi children were the silent witnesses for this instability. When it comes to children, they are the last on the line to wait for the services, and they will be the first on the line to be affected by such neglect.
What was especially striking in Iraq was that the UN was doing important work in the region, but the communities were desperately needing help on a smaller scale. After years of war and sanctions, the Iraqis needed the most basic of tools and training, and I realized a huge impact could be made with very small amounts of money. The kind of impact that could save an entire generation of children. And I knew if we could find a way to partner directly with these communities, we could provide a lot of hope. And that's how Generation I was born.
Generation I is a Canadian nonprofit organization that focuses on delivering health, protection, and education to vulnerable children in marginalized countries. Its message is one of hope and empowerment as they work to understand a community's needs and partner directly with community-based organizations on projects that will have the most impact on its children. Generation I works to develop trust and transparency with both facilitators and donors.
I became a donor when I learned how unique Generation I was, in how immediate the impact is. We all want to feel we can make a difference in the lives of others, and Generation I is really special. It allows a donor at any level of contribution to become involved with the projects. The donors, the facilitators, the children, we communicate online and we share the ideas and the joy of working together.
In Iraq, this model has met with success, not only in reaching its project goals, but in uniting communities with a new sense of hope and confidence.
It's something very new to the culture. To me, this is something even more promising than the project itself. Having such spirit, it's something new and it's something more promising. Yes, you can rehabilitate a kindergarten, it's okay, anyone can do that, but rarely you will find someone who can ignite this spirit among the population.
Clean water, nutrition, safe environment, education. They're all fundamental human rights, and yet not a reality for so many children. As a mother and a citizen of the world, we're all connected. We have the same core desires to see our children thrive. It's a privilege to get involved with an organization that really embodies that connection, and at the same time, know you're truly making a difference in many lives.
Our work in Iraq was just the beginning of what is a blueprint for every region on the planet with a population of vulnerable children. We need to help these communities help themselves and their children to encourage the growth of a civil society again. We as a global community are obligated to make that happen. And the good news is that it's doable, it's tangible. The beauty is that it's really possible for any of us to make an enormous difference in a lot of people's lives. Generation I proves that, and together we can save a generation.
We can save a generation.
We can save a generation.